Hey, what is up everyone? Welcome back to another video. In this video, I am going to attempt the creative machine on TryHackMe. Now, I do just want to be clear with the way I approach these machines is probably a little bit different than your typical content creator on YouTube. I have not gone through this machine, have not read about this machine. I know nothing about this machine, so I'm going into it completely blind. What that means is I will likely get stuck, I will likely get frustrated, but I will also share with you my methodology and the way I approach a machine from the perspective of an actual pen tester. So I hope you learned something from my pen testing methodology. Hope you learned something from the way I take notes. And hey, would encourage you to do this room alongside of me. So if you have access to the creative room on TryHackMe, get it booted up. Go ahead and pause my video while it boots up. And let's pretend like we're sitting down together working on this machine together. Now, for those of you watching on live stream, would encourage you to do the same thing. If you haven't done this machine, boot it up and let's dive into it together. And hey, feel free when I miss something obvious, which I will. Like, I don't know if you have ever live streamed before, but here's what I noticed. When you live stream and you know people are watching you, you miss the most obvious of things. So when I miss something obvious, feel free to let me know in the comment. My only caveat or my only rule is don't give me a spoiler. So like if you looked at the walkthrough or you've done this machine before, I don't want to know spoilers. I don't want to know that strong of hints. Let's just see if we can figure it out and work through it together. So without any further ado, here is the creative room on TryHackMe. The couple of things I've done so far is I just set up my VPN, so I'm on the VPN, and let's go ahead and make a directory for creative. We'll cd into creative, so it's ready there. And I also use a Notion to take notes, so we have our Notion notes set up here. And the first thing we want to do is let's scan the machine and see what is running. So let's grab the IP there, and let's first do sudo nano etc host. Now, if you're new to this, what etc host does is it resolves IPs to host names, just so we don't have to remember the IP every time. So we'll do creative-thm, control X to exit, Y to save, and then enter in. And now if we ping creative.thm, it goes through. All right, that is a good sign. Now, what I like to do is we'll begin with rust scan, just because it's fast, and we'll pass it over to nmap. And the way we're going to do that is rust scan-a. We'll do creative.thm. And then this right here is what passes it over to nmap. So it's saying, hey, run rust scan on this target, and then whatever ports are open, do -a and nmap on it. And -a is just like aggressive, throw all the enumeration scripts at each open port and tell us what might be running on these open ports. So right away, we see we have port 22 open, which is going to be SSH or secure shell. So if we get credentials, we might be able to access it via SSH. And we have port 80 open, which is likely going to be a web server on HTTP. While this does its thing, the other thing we need to do is let's pop open Cato, which I think I need to update Cato. Let's see if I need to update. It's been just a little bit since I've used Cato on this VM. Yeah, update available. I have been enjoying the desktop version. Is it going to auto download? Yeah, okay. So we can close Cato. Well, you know, I'm not even going to update it now. Well, I'll deal with it later. I think what we need is going to be just fine in this version of Cato. Let's go ahead and create a project, and we will call it creative. And we have our project there. We'll go over to Intercept, and we will open up a web browser. Chrome should be fine. Joseph said, thanks for all the info. I have to go. Peace out, Joseph, and Haircut Fish. Peace out, Haircut Fish. Good to have you hanging out. All right, we got that pulled up. We can close this out. And we have Cato pulled up. And this is still doing its thing. So being slow. Should be fast. It's rust scan. Go faster. I'm guessing it's just going to be port 22 and port 80 that are open. So can I just do like nmap-p 2280-a creative.thm-v for verbose mode. Let me speed it up. We'll let rust scan continue to run to see if it finds anything interesting. But while it's doing that, we do know it's a web server, so we can just browse to the web server and just see, is there anything going on this web server? Small team with big ideas, creative studio. Web development, app design, we create awesome work, blah, blah, blah. Nothing going on here. We have some users. Now, I don't know if this is going to be the point in this box, but often when you see users like this, you just might want to keep in mind we might have some username enumeration here. Whoops, did not mean to do that. Do we have directory listing at all on these tabs? Nope. Nope. And that's done there. Rust scan is still taking a while for some reason, but we'll go ahead and grab our results here and start really getting our notes set up and dug into. Oops. And we'll just do code. Drop that in there. And now the way I like to do my notes is I create a separate page for each thing that we are going to enumerate. So we'll copy everything for port 22 and we'll do SSH 22 like that. And make it full width. Drop the notes in there. Actually, let's do it in code. There's that. And we'll do the same thing for port 80, HTTP. And here is probably where we're going to be hanging out for the majority of our time. So right away, we have Nginx 1.18.0. Always worth looking that up, but I don't believe we have any crazy like RCEs that would give us access. But let's make a to-do list as we're on this web server. So we'll just call this like our enumeration to-do list. A few things that I want to do. We'll run... you know what I've actually been enjoying? I've used GoBuster in the past, but I've been enjoying dir search. So we'll do dir search for directories. We can try GoBuster for vhosts. We can check source code. Check something simple like robots.txt. So dir search for directories, GoBuster for vhosts, check source code, check robots.txt, use the website like a normal user, right? See if there's anything interesting. We could also run like nuclei or nicto. I doubt we're going to need something like nucleo. We'll just say run nicto just for a basic web scan. I doubt it's going to be very helpful for us, but we'll go ahead and do it. So let's get some of these scans going. We'll pull this up. We'll name this tab dir search. And we'll do dir search. I don't even remember the syntax. So what is it? Dir search. We can specify our word list. We'll just do the basic word list for dir search. It's actually pretty decent. Okay. Let's give it a URL. There we go. And now we can do GoBuster vhost. I think it's GoBuster vhost. Let me see the syntax. GoBuster vhost. creative.thm. There's better word lists, of course, for this purpose, but directory list should be fine for what we need it for. And we'll let that do its thing. And then finally, we'll do nicto-h creative.thm. All right, so that found asset so far, nothing super interesting. We'll run another word list to add it as well, but dir search will be a quick word list, see if it finds anything interesting. Now, in the meantime, let's go back and just see what is going on with this web page. So anything else interesting that we can see on here? Oh, so we have a contact form, which does this actually send a message? Oh, sure enough, it's doing a get request. What is going on? Okay. Contact us and we'll get back to you within 24 hours. Oh, let's turn off intercept. So it just does this contact equals message. I don't know. That's interesting. Let's just take a note of that. We might come back to it. Maybe we have to use cross-site scripting or something to trigger something. Well, it's not possible. Contact us page. So I'm thinking something like that. Using cross-site scripting on the message. Let's check out our scans. Do we have anything interesting? DirSearch has nothing much. GoBuster has nothing much. We can try a different word list. We will do that. In the meantime, let me make sure I'm not missing anything on LinkedIn, since I can only check on my phone because LinkedIn's live streaming platform is trash. All right, people just saying this. Okay, cool. GoBuster vHost, Nikto, nothing interesting. I have a feeling it's going to be, hey, this finished. So only 2 ports open. It's going to be that contact page. Because there's literally nothing else on this website. What's components do? Okay. Oh, shoot. What is this? Yeah, overgrown carrot. I'm doing this box because of your recommendation, dude. What's this? Oh. This doesn't actually enter anywhere, right? These are just weird examples. Nothing fishy going on here, I don't think. Obviously odd thing to see, but I'm thinking it's that contact page. The other thing I didn't do is look at the source code on the index.html, but it seems that the author of this box is doing everything they can to direct us to the contact page. Because they even say, contact us and we'll get back to you within 24 hours. Sure hope it takes less than 24 hours in order for them to get back to us. But we could do like something. Here, let me pull up my handy dandy friend. Need to make sure I'm authenticated quick. I am. So if we did image source. Well, I could just do HTML. This is a little bit of an overkill, but whatever. I think it's image and then src equals, and then your external image that you're pointing at, and then you just close the tag out. Yeah, I was right. So I'm thinking, what if I just send, I'm curious how it is doing this. If I just send this as a payload and use my collaborator, or I'm not using collaborator, but y'all get the point. Use my IP up there. So do HTTP 10.13.46.224 hello.jpg. And we'll just go here. I'm going to close Nitco. I don't think it's going to do anything for me. If I send a message, will I get any hits back? I just want to see what this looks like again if I set it to queuing. So here's the contact message equals. Is there anything else we can do with that contact message as well? I don't know. It just redirects us to this. Oh, these are all false positives as well on the vhost side of things. Dir search hasn't found anything interesting. I don't have any hits yet. Can you check the vhost? Henke said. I did. Right, one incredible resource as well for some of this stuff. Since I showed it off earlier, let's go to Hack the Box Academy. Share my face just for a moment. And if we go down to cross-site scripting, I can't show too much from Hack the Box Academy due to their policies. I'll share my screen in just a moment. So here's Hack the Box Academy, and like with every module, this is the cross-site scripting module, there's a cheat sheet they give you. I'm just going to grab a bunch of this stuff right here because I'm going to try some of these payloads depending on what we have working and what we're working with. Right, so something like trying this as well would be another thing to try on that contact page. Do I have any hits yet? Nope. So maybe it doesn't take HTML. I mean, generally though, if it's going to take JavaScript, it's going to take HTML, but our script doesn't even need to exist for now. For now, I just want to see, can I get a callback on mine stuff? Does this contact message do anything else? Does this like show up anywhere? Do 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 do. I'm not sure what else to check at the moment. I don't know what sort of contact form takes a password, but you can see, at least let me double check. I don't think it's sending the password at all. All it's doing is sending this contact message to it. It's not sending anything else. Just the contact message. Overgrown Carrot said, can I see that vhost checker again? All right. So maybe it's a vhost. But GoBuster apparently sucks at vhost. Hold up. Let's use FFuff for vhost enumeration. My problem with FFuff, y'all, is I just always forget the syntax. Maybe we're in a rabbit hole with my stuff. Virtual host discovery. That's what I want to do. All right, so this is how you do vhost stuff with FFuff. Oh, no, I didn't Overgrown Carrot. Hold up, let me look at chat. Did you do append domain with GoBuster because you have to do that nowadays? I didn't. I didn't know you had to. I also think, hold up, let me check one other thing. I think I forgot the syntax for FFuff so often I added it to my GitHub. Now I'm just curious if I added it. Is there any like... Ah, there is a vhost fuzzer. You guys see this? I was smart, and I did this myself. Let's grab my vhost fuzzer. Let's actually see if my vhost fuzzer works. So our domain is creative.thm. Our word list is we'll use dirbuster directory list 2.3 medium. And then our URL is http creative.thm. And then we'll see what our FS filter is. Oh. Okay, so actually what we want to do is we'll do 178. All right, let's see if my vhost, oh, look at that. My vhost fuzzer comes in key. So lesson learned, GoBuster sucks for vhost, but my sweet vhost fuzzer I put in my GitHub finds it right away what we're looking for. So let's go ahead and grab a screenshot of this. It would have been cooler though, y'all, if it was like a cross-site scripting in the contact form that did it, I think. I think that would have been cool. But here it is. We have this beta thing. So let's go ahead and jump over to here. Oh, where's my notes? Right here. No, I can probably delete this stuff. Well, maybe it'll come in handy. Stucks. All right, let's drop the screenshot there of it. And then I also want to grab, I'm guessing that's all we need. But let's grab this and we'll just add this to our notes as well. All right, there's my code. And what I'm thinking about doing, since with Notion you can easily share pages, is as I complete machines, I'll probably share all my Notion notes in the description of the video. So I'll kind of add in the scripts that I'm using so that people can also reuse it for their own purposes. But if you're like me and you always forget the syntax for fuzzing for vhosts, go to the Tenebrae 93 GitHub, which is my GitHub, and you can use the vhost fuzzer, and then you'll be good. You can see we found it right away with the vhost fuzzer. So with that, let's check this out. Beta.creative.thm. Oh, I need to add it to Etsy hosts. Good job, Tyler. Good job being a noob. Let's go with this. Don't know if I'm going to have to refresh this or if it will. There we go. All right, so we have a beta URL tester. This page provides the functionality that allows you to test a URL. I can already see this is going to lead to RCE, but we'll check it out. So here's our beta system. Let's drop this to our notes. And we'll just do like h2 beta.creative.thm. So we have this beta URL tester, and let's just understand the functionality of this. If I do my own IP, 1013.46.224, and let me also open up Cato. We'll go over to intercept, submit. Want to see what this request looks like, and we can queue. So it's just passing it as a URL parameter. And often when you see stuff like this, you might be able to get RCE depending on how it's set up. My web server's still here. So we have already SSRF, server-side request forgery. We're able to make the server hit anything we want by putting in the URL. So you could technically do like internal scanning of ports and things like that. But let's go ahead and grab that for our screenshot. Just drop that in there. So we have that hit from our target IP on that URL. And does the page... Oh, it actually goes to the website then? It actually connects to it? So it's working, it's functioning as like a proxy. Okay. Ooh. Does it take file? I don't know if there's any like... So it just goes to that. That's interesting. I mean, if this is a pen test, something that you would definitely want to report, this is full SSRF. We shouldn't be able to hit localhost. And if there was some sensitive files we could hit, but I don't think there's going to be anything interesting for us. Yeah, it's just going to keep bringing us to that. All right, so then the other question we have is if we go back to this, can I do like... Oh, I don't think that understood that. Let's convert URL, encode that. Does that do anything? Okay. Okay, I'm thinking of things that we can check with this. With SSRF, file didn't work, right? If I do... Still think we might be able to get RCE as well. So we also want to look at some command injection. I don't think that's going to be interesting to us. Yeah, I kind of tried that. We could try it that way, though. If we go here, .46.224. So, you know, if that would have worked, we'd actually see the results of the command there. That's amazing, Overgrown Carrot. He said, hey, forget to let you know I did my first vishing today. Got hung up on by a Karen, and I knew it was already bad as soon as she said her name was Karen. But the second call, we got a hit. That's amazing, dude. Awesome job. So let's start with command injection. We don't want to DOS the server. Actually, I want to payload all the things. I think this is a good... If I remember right, guys, my lack of sleep's really getting to me here. I'm getting tired. All right. Oh, we don't need... Oh, I'm going to sneeze. I'm going to sneeze. Didn't want to sneeze. Now I'm getting sick on top of being tired. Come on now. So I've tried most of these, if not all of them. I tried semicolon. I tried and. I didn't try or. Dead. Whoops. It's interesting that it serves as like a proxy. That's still like... I'm trying to think of how I can abuse that. That hasn't found anything interesting. Oh, you know what we haven't done though? Let's run dir search. On that beta endpoint. Maybe there's a sensitive endpoint that because we have this full proxy, we're able to hit the endpoint with this weird SSRF proxy stuff. So I'll let that run while I continue to attempt command injection. That's what I thought it would be. We could try background, I suppose. I think I maybe did that. I don't remember. Want a URL encode it. Okay. Nope. I don't think we need to bypass any filters. But like what these filter bypasses are is you can, if it doesn't allow spaces and stuff, you can actually do spaces or slashes with some crazy filter bypasses, which is what it's showing us here. But we're not even to that point, so I don't think that'll be super helpful for us. And we're not seeing anything pop up on dir search. We can hit localhost. So it always just redirects to this main page. It's not actually going to whatever directory I send it. All right, Overgrown Carrot. Here'd be my hint. Do I need to keep running dir search? Do I just need to use a different word list? Or is like trying to find a directory and then hitting the directory with this weird proxy as an SSRF isn't the way in? That would be my question. Just so I don't waste my time continually scanning for crap. Can I do how about like we might be able to do something like this. Let's just try it. Got nothing to lose, yellow. Try to null byte it out. Okay, maybe that won't work. Can I just run a PHP script as me? Oh, laudanum PHP. Let's just try this and yellow it out and see what happens. We'll do 10.13.46.224. Our port is 1337 because we're elite hackers. Save that. All right, let's see if this does anything. If I do HTTP 10.13.46.224 shell.php. Just prints it as text. That's not a good sign. So that means it's not actually executing the PHP. So that's not going to work. We'll call it listener just in the hope that we get something. Overgrown Carrot said, what is funny is that I was going through the same steps you are, and the only reason I tried the ports thing is because of Hack the Box Academy. What ports thing are you talking about? Do you have to do some like port knocking craziness? So what we can do is scan internal ports, which might be what he's referring to. When you have SSRF, you can usually scan internal ports to see if they're open based on differing responses that come back. And there's actually some tools that allow you to automate that. If we do SSRF, I think it was in Hacktricks. Oh, on the chat with my first reply. You know, what's funny is that I was going through the same steps you are, and the only reason I tried the ports thing. Overgrown Carrot, I don't know what you're talking about. I don't know what you mean by on chat with my first reply. On the chat with my first reply. Anyways, let me look at this tool. There's an SSRF like scanner tool that will automate the port scanning, internal port scanning. And then maybe we can connect to something there. I'm not entirely sure. What's the best way to install it? Okay, you just want me to git clone it. Word. I'm going to stop that. Don't think there's anything else here. All right, 3 install. Requirements. Drink of water. Okay, the red text scares me, but I think we're okay. So with SSRF, or this SSRF map, it gives us a few different ways that we can do this. You can, of course, do it manually, but with this tool, we can even read files. And so there's some interesting things you can do with this tool. I've only used it maybe once, so I don't even remember the syntax. But if we look at this, we have different modules I think we can load here. And so we're sending it our request. So maybe I just need to get my full request out of here. I'll just do something like this, maybe. And we'll do and then Python 3 SRF map.py request.text. Wouldn't you get the URL from here? Parameter to target. All right, so our parameter target is URL actually. And if we run module port scan, what does that do for us? So you can kind of see how this works. It starts with the most common ports first, so it found that port 80 was open internally. Oh, but now we're timing out on port 80. So timing out on all of these. Did I break the server? Okay, no, it's going back to trying to hit the ports. Might have to do this manually. I don't know if this tool's going to miss anything or even how long it's going to take, but I bet it's on some silly freaking port that's not going to show up right away. What up, Raphael? What up, Cali Max? Oh. Port 1337 is open. Is this the actual freaking file system? This isn't my file system or some crazy thing, right? No. Okay, well that's interesting. So first, guys, cool tool, huh? Where's it at? So if we let it finish, it would eventually like tell us, hey, here are the ports that we found that are open. I'll just let it keep running, showing off SSRF map. But what I do want to do is let's grab our syntax from up above here. So here's our syntax that we use just for our notes. Right here. Port knocking madness. Oh, yeah, that was the syntax. Perfect. And then we discovered that port 3033 is open, or 1337. And we see that information there. Let me grab a screenshot. That gives us like the full freaking file system. And jump this over. If anyone here works at Notion, can you please fix it so I can set it so it auto aligns to the left? Philip Stone said, what's up? First time here. What up, Philip Stone? Dude, thank you for joining for the live stream, my friend. I don't know if you guys were here earlier, but my daughter was sick last night. So I didn't get to bed till 2:30, almost 3 a.m. And then I was up at 7 a.m. to chaperone a field trip for my son, y'all. So I'm running on like 4 to 5 hours of sleep. So I'm really, really tired. But we'll keep working. Can I? So that shows me we have full file listing. But then we have to say like 1337 Etsy password or something, right? Let me just go to here to make it a little bit easier. We'll do HTTP. Should get the same results. Right. Right, and then we have Etsy password there. I think we have a user right there. So that's how we can kind of read it. Right, so now we can just do some basic enumeration. I don't know if we can put files or anything with this, but if we go to home, yep, I was hoping we had SSH. Beautiful. ID RSA. And we have a private key, ladies and gentlemen. Let's grab a screenshot of that for our notes. Private SSH key. And we'll even save that here to our notes. Right there it is. And we'll also go here. Is this done, I wonder? So this is still doing this thing. Eventually it would finish and tell us, hey, here are the things it found. Okay, fine. I'll just let you go, bro. You don't want to quit? That's fine. Nano. Change mod 400. And now SSH as, I don't even remember the user's name. Sad. Oh, we got a passphrase for the key. Okay. Well, we can probably crack that. I believe John has some modules for that. But let me make sure I need to. Is there anything else interesting here? And I can't write to it. So let me see what the module is for that. So we probably have to use John to convert it and then John to crack it. SSH2John.py, that's the tool I'm thinking of. Do I just give it the file? All right. Mousepad hash. Should attempt to auto detect it. But while it does that, let me just grab the notes that we use to do this. So in order to crack the hash, say cracking the passcode of the ID RSA. Let's say SSH private key. Convert with John. There's that. Crack with John. Whoops. Okay, so it's doing its thing. You could also try hashcatting it, but I have faith. I think it will eventually crack it. If not, we'll come back to it. Let me check out chat. What tool is for screenshotting? Seiyangoku asks. Screenshotting, I'm using Flameshot. right there. I use Flameshot on when I'm on Linux, and I use a Lightshot when I'm on Windows. I don't believe they're cross-compatible, but they're almost the same tool. Okay, maybe that's not the way in. Let's see what else our dude has here. What else do you have, homie? Do we have bash history? We do. All right, what do you have in your bash history? Anything interesting for us? Ha ha ha. We do have some stuff in our bash history. We have who am I, present working directory, the listing stuff. He is giving us his password. So can we access SSH from his actual password? That's another way that we could do it. And then we're doing some MySQL stuff. All right, let's try this out as well. One of these ways is going to give us in. And let me do SSH sade at creative.thm. Oh, I need a key. Is that key the key for the SSH password, though? I bet it is. So we'll do this. ID RSA. And we'll paste it in. Does that not work? Just want to make sure it's actually pasting. My strongest password yet, 4291. So I can't SSH as him, huh? Okay, I can't SSH with password authentication. And that's not the password used for ID RSA. Your John looks weird. Why are you insulting me, overgrown carrot? My John doesn't. Your John looks weird. Let me just try to hashcat this file. I don't know what hash this even is on here. Private keys. I did do SSH2 John, yeah. Did yours look quite a bit different when you did SSH2 John? Maybe my John is messed up. Yeah, not found. Yeah, like that's what I'm doing. Overgrown carrot, is John the way to crack this? Just so I know I'm not in a rabbit hole. Do I need to fix my John? It is the way to crack it. Okay. Let me see if I can like pull a different version of John real quick off the internet. Can I run it as a Docker container or something? Let's give it another shot. And we'll give it a little bit to crack it. In the meantime, though, we can just continue exploring the files. Like, this all looks interesting to me, and I have a feeling this is all going to come back up for privilege escalation possibly. So let's grab that and we'll drop it in our notes. We'll just do, like, we'll call it enumeration, right? And we have bash history. We have all that bash history, which seems interesting to me. Let's see what else we have. Oh, you know what we need to do as well? Let's make sure the freaking machine isn't going to die. We can get user, I guess, real quick. Might as well grab that flag while we have it, right? No, I don't want to create an event. Boom. We have user. And we can keep on looking around. Hey, John's done as well. We successfully cracked it with John. It just like kind of bugged out that first time. I don't really know why, but hey, we're still working. We'll save this information there. So we have it cracked with John. Our password is sweetness. Now we can probably get SSH access to it. Boom. So let's drop that in our notes. Crack with John. Just for our notes. All right, now we can look more at this enumeration. We have these creds.txt. I mean, all interesting stuff. Now that we have shell access as well, it makes our life a little bit easier. We have the start server.py, which is interesting. Oh, this is just that 1337 web server. Okay, got it. Our bash history, of course, we already saved that information there. So he's using creds. Sudo L, who am I? So let's do sudo L with those creds that we have from right here, my most secure password yet or whatever. Oh, and we can run ping as root. So now we can probably just GTFO bins out of here, I would think. With ping. I'm pretty sure ping's one of them. Oh, it's not? We can run user bin ping. Is that not a GTFO bin? Fping. Whoops. I didn't mean to do that. I don't even know what the frick I did. Maybe ping's going to come up in another area. I mean, what? What can we do with ping? Can we get a shell? Does ping give us a shell? Not really. All right, ping doesn't give us a shell. At least I don't see any options to just give us a straight shell, but it is something to take note of, and I didn't drop that in my notes either, so let me just grab that. That's obviously going to have something to do with the machine. All right, so that's interesting. Yeah, no, verbose output won't do anything, Bell, but good guess. I mean, that'll just show us verbose for ping. I have a feeling ping's being used elsewhere, and we're going to abuse this in some way. But let's go back at our notes. What else did we notice here? So sudo L, who am I? Who am I? Present working directory, ls, who am I? MySQL. All right, let's log into MySQL as well then. Really? MySQL's not even installed, bruh. And then they're switching over to the root user. They're adding a user and a password. Interesting. What is the ping being used for? Is there a script that's running that somehow executes ping that we're able to abuse? We're not any groups. We can run linps in a second. Yeah, let's not waste my time. Let's grab that. Check out the options for sudo-l. What do you mean check out the options? Okay, good call. Let me check out the options. I'll let me just open a new one. SSH SAID at creative-thm. Good job. Spelling, Tyler, you're an incredible speller, dude. Sweetness. My strongest password. Matching default entries. We have environment resent, mail bad pass, environment keep. So these are the things. Let me just check this out. If I just Google this. So I will say I've never done this on a machine. I don't think. So kudos to the author of this box. I don't think I've encountered this on any machine. So what even is, let me read about this. In this post, we're going to discuss a new technique of prevest by exploiting environment variable LD preload. But to practice this, you must take some help from our previous article, blah, blah. Shared libraries are loaded by programs when they start. When a shared library is installed properly, all programs that start afterward automatically use a new shared library. Every shared library has a special name called the SO name. The SO name has a prefix lib, the name of the library, the POV SO, followed by a period and version number. Okay. The dynamic link here can be run either indirectly by running some dynamically linked program or shared object. Blah, blah. LD preload is an environmental variable that lists shared libraries with functions that override the standard set. They are implemented from the loader, blah, blah. It's important for the login user to have some pseudo rates. Therefore, we have given some pseudo rights. So it almost looks like the author of this box maybe followed this article because we have pseudo rights to ping. To do this, so we don't need to follow that. To exploit such type of vulnerability, we need to compromise a victim's machine at once, then move to privilege escalation phase. Suppose you start to log in and you have sudo L, which we have ping, and we do have that exact environment keep. Okay, so yeah, that's going to be key to what we're doing. Let's generate a C program file inside temp directory and save it as shell. Let's compile it to generate a shared object with the .so extension. Okay. Do we even have... Let's just try it this way. Oh, you might most likely done LD preload, just not doing it this way. Okay, gotcha. That you're probably right. Let's do it this way though. I don't know if this is the intended way. I don't even know if this is gonna work. But if it's a different way, I want to do it the different way. So we're gonna drop this in there. So we'll do nano. I'm freaking root. How did you guys do it? Did you guys do it the same way? Okay, cool. I want to record this though. This is cool. So if we go, well, let me just get the root flag. I am root. That's cool. Yo, I don't even know if the author of this box ever watched this video, but I really enjoyed this box. This is cool. It wasn't overly difficult. It wasn't like super CTF-y silly, but it teaches a priv-s technique that I don't see very often. That was cool, but I did successfully complete the room, but we're not done yet. Let's continue to fill out our notes so we understand what we did, and we can come back to this now. Can run ping as a root user. All right. Note. You see this variable. Create a .c file in temp. Gosh. How do I... Okay, whatever. And that C file, we literally got it out of Google here. This one right here. So yeah, this is the exact command, although ours is going to be a little bit different on how we did it. First, let me just take away that useless space. Another useless space. So ours was ping, and the reason it was ping is our user could run ping as a pseudo user, and then that's what allowed us to get root. But I think that kind of showcases and ends our notes. Was there anything I missed there? Did Linpiece discover that as well? I'm curious. Let's see if Linpiece discovered that. I bet it did. It's probably going to be highlighted like high chance of privesc. Oh, no, maybe it didn't because Linpiece can't check sudo, right, if it requires a password. So I bet Linpiece did not discover that. You have to manually do it. Linpiece wouldn't show it to you. I bet I'm right in my understanding of that. Oh, no, there it is. It found it right there. So if you would have ran Linpiece, you would have found it real quick. So I would have found it eventually after Linpiece ran, because then we would have saw that. And if you literally just, I Googled that entire line and found it, but we found it that way, and you could have worked your way through it. That was cool. That was an enjoyable room. Want to say thank you to the room creator. Who was it? Let me check so I can thank them by name. Let me see. How do I check in the new TryHackMe? Oh, it's made by, here, I'll just share my screen. This person. Hey, bruh. Hats off. Sadiktar. Have you created other rooms? That was the first room. Awesome room. Hey, thank you, my friend, for creating this room. Learned something through the process. Thank you for sharing, and appreciate you doing this. But hey, y'all, thank you again for watching. I don't think I'm going to dive into another room because I'm freaking tired from dealing with my sick daughter last night. But thank you all for watching this video after the fact on YouTube. Hope you learned something through just me sharing my full raw process and methodology, and I will see you in the next one.